I hit. Friends, if you're looking for real old school laughs, you're in for a treat because we've got them right here. Flip City Magazine. Remember Mad Magazine? Then it went woke? Well, don't worry. Flip City has no chance of going woke. That's right. 4 times a year, you'll get an actual printed magazine full of jokes, stories, comics, and more, all about today's pop culture, entertainment, and woke politics. Flip City takes terrible entertainment trends we love to hate with hilarious parodies of Lord of the Rings, Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, Star Trek, Hunters, and more. Trust me when I say there is nothing else like Flip City on the market. So subscribe today. It will be delivered in print, or you can even get it digitally if you're one of those wacky Zoomers. Either way, follow our link and sign up today, and if you put in midnight, you get an extra 10% off. Check out Flip City Magazine today.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Midnight Section of the Morning. It is Friday. Welcome, everybody, to the program. We did this already for the last 5 minutes. We've been live. And Mikey's like, don't tell nobody. It's embarrassing. I'm like, no.
We're live.
Now we're actually live.
You folks out there, we thought we were live. We had the
just had the greatest show.
Like it
God
was
damn
fabulous.
You want to hear something funny?
Dancing girls and everything cost $5,000.
The show actually started by 12:10, 5 minutes late. So unbelievably, we were almost on time, almost.
Yeah, and we were rapping along, thought we were live, hitting all the beats, and it turned out that we were incognito.
All right, let's start over. Look who we got here. Tom, who do we have?
We have Paul Chato with us this morning. How you doing, Paul?
I am doing very well. Thank you very much, Tom.
No problem. All right. We also have with us Mr. Script Doctor, another fellow Canadian. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy that we're actually live right now.
Yeah, that was bullshit. I thought I hit the button. But thankfully, Mike figured it out before it was too long.
There's Mike.
We also have Mike with us today. How you doing, Mike?
No. Today I have been race swapped and ethnic swapped. I am Mexican, Iron Andre. Today I shall be Mexican, Iron Andre for this show.
And your colon has been ethnically cleansed.
Tom, continue on with the show.
That's it. I got to remember that one. Oh.
I heard you got an upgrade, new prototype armor, yeah.
As you can see, what started off in the home cleaning division ultimately has now upgraded to intergalactic savior. Mexican, iron, no longer.
We'll save your life and iron your shorts.
That is what we do here.
That's right. Also joining us, we have Six this morning. How you doing, Six?
I am doing just fine.
And we also have with us Mr. Culture Casino, who I blame for us having the funniest, most wonderful intro that nobody saw.
Okay, clearly my fault.
He has zero control over it, but I'm just going to blame him anyway.
It's fine. It's fine. Six pointed out a wonderful fact during the part of the show that you didn't get to see. And then we were going to ask you what the significance was with the placement of today's panel. Because Six, what did you say?
There's a rhyme and reason behind how we're laid out on the screen. And if you can figure it out, please post it in chat and you win a prize.
Ooh. And it's from non-virgin to virgin.
Wait, what?
No. Now you got to figure out which order.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Here's
a hint. I'm in the middle.
Tom, we cannot discuss virginity on the morning show.
I don't know. Mine. It's been so long for me. I think mine grew back. So
it's possible
that happens. And the two of us are writers, so that goes without saying.
Mm-hmm. Nerds,
comedy writers.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well,
yeah, you guys are like pina coladas without alcohol.
If you like pina coladas,
we're coladas without the pinas.
Well, see, two of us have children. or 3 of us have children, let's say.
Our
I have 2
penises are
cats.
not very big.
Those are my children.
Anyway, Dr. Long Dongler sends us in a
Dr.
super sticker this morning for a
Thank you,
pound
Doctor.
99. He wants you to
Thank
pound
you.
that thumbs up. Thank you so much, Dr. Long Dongler. That's the first super chat I have anyway. I think we're in order.
Yeah.
All right. We got Martino's chest here with 10. I think that's Chilean. Is it Chilean? What is that?
Franks?
Yeah, maybe. If not, it's something completely different. I'm fucking it up. But Andre's not here today, so we're just gonna go with it. It's 10 chef dollars.
Wait, those are some kind of franc.
Swiss francs.
Swiss franc.
Swish. Kennedy film is the best comedy of the decade. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that.
Here, more smear, more here, more sneeze. Pork.
Grimzilla is here. How you doing, Grimzilla? Sends in $2. Says this is KK burning it all down before she goes now. Maybe. Hyperguyver 2 also sends in $5. Says I'd like to take a moment to thank Charmine Obeid Bak Choi,
Bok Choy,
or Old Bed Bok Choi, for continuing to provide great channels like with Midnight's Edge with content to talk about. Yeah, she might have the coolest name since Taika Waititi.
Yeah. What
like,
is it?
It's kind of like a night
name spoonerisms is a cheap high school tact,
but they're always funny.
My gym teacher called me Chato all the time.
Chato.
Yeah, I'd have kicked him in the face like Chato.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was so funny.
Dude, wasn't that just amazing?
What, the show?
Right? Yeah,
he was. The show sucked.
Yeah, I love the show.
Was a kid. Yeah. And
it was no Batman.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
But it had Bruce Lee, so you got to trade
have Bruce Lee. And you know what? We were supposed to get another show because of Bruce Lee, and we didn't. Somebody else got a good show.
What was the name of the lead in the Green Hornet?
Lance something or Van something.
Van, yes.
Oh, you mean the character name?
No, the name of the actor.
I'm trying to think of the actor. Yeah.
Anyway, so I saw a video on him talking about Bruce Lee, and they became really, really good friends on the show. And through Bruce Lee's career up until his untimely death, they actually chatted a lot. He had a very funny story where Bruce Lee, being Bruce Lee, was really angry at the way the Hollywood fight choreographers were doing the fight scenes, because he had a vision for how the fight scenes were supposed to happen. And the choreographers said it's different how it happens in real life and how it needs to look as entertainment. And then one day they got so tired of Bruce Lee complaining, they said, okay, you choreograph that fight scene in this episode. And he did. And they showed him the rushes. And Bruce Lee said, oh my God, it looks like shit. And then they said, then from that moment on, he understood the difference between doing what looks like what is a real fight scene versus what it needs to look like on, in entertainment. So, and he was able to learn. Great stories. Lance Van, Cargo Van. I can't remember his name.
I don't know about that because Bruce had already done a few movies by that point.
No, he had not. Not up until the show. But anyway,
done Big Boss and shit like that yet.
I'm just recounting the story.
We're talking about 1960.
Oh, that's right. That was 1960. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that would have been first. That's my bad. So I was thinking the other way around.
No, it's a part of the discussion. I mean, our memory fades as we get older, and who's talking about Bruce Lee anymore, except for Midnight's Edge?
Oh, we talk about him all the time.
Well, I'm saying only Midnight's Edge talks about Bruce Lee. So, moving on.
But Kathleen Morrison has been here for 11 months. Thank you so much. And then we have Mizzy Buddy, who's been here for 13 months and says, I've been a member for a while and I still don't know where the koalas in the ring came from. Can you explain that to me? Also love you. Oh, gosh. Trying to remember the name of the channel. It's this channel that does a bunch of like animal videos and they do goofy songs and voices over them. It's like Zoo something. Gosh,
Zumafu?
Maybe.
Are they
that
also
might be
the
it.
ones that did Honey Badger?
Maybe.
I think
I think it is Zumafu. I think that sounds familiar. I think Paul's right.
Zabumafu, yeah.
Zabumafu. I think that's
with
it.
the Katz brothers.
I stole it from Comics Division.
So
but he stole it from them.
Well, I mean,
no, I stole it from him fair and square. He knows it.
Yeah. I think it's the best steal ever. To be
I
fair.
bullied it away from him.
I want to use that. It'd be great.
That couldn't have been hard. He's pretty short.
Yeah, no, he just kind of accepted it.
Yeah.
I think Jason is going to confirm that I am taller than Comics Division because I met him in person. Sci-fi for me.
Let
TV.
it go.
Okay.
This is not the time nor the place. We will have a measuring contest one of these days. Get over it.
Whip it
Till
out.
then,
Do it now.
That's right. Well, on
I am
video,
not
things
Gavin McGinnis.
look a lot shorter, 6. I'm sure you've learned this from porn.
I've never watched porn.
This is
No
what
lie.
you say.
Andre would remind us that this is not Midnight Edge.
Edge After
Oh,
Dark.
sorry, Andre. Sorry, boss.
women like porn.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it's from a Zumbumafu or how you say it. They're good peoples. They never strike us or claim us. They let us use the Koalas in the Rain song. It's just a short little song. So yeah, goofy, funny little channel, or not little channel. They're pretty big, actually, I should say. But yeah, check them out. Then we got Views with Hughes in the house. How you doing with your agenda-free news? Sends in $10 and says, I knew KK would make this movie. It's due to the financial backing of an investment firm that they're making this movie. Oh, is it due? Well, looks like Culture has a reason or an answer for that, I should say.
No, I'm agreeing. This guy Hughes, you guys should be checking out Views with Hughes. He's got some great insights. You should be checking him out. Plus, he's also a regular contributor on other channels and does a good job. So check out Views with Hughes.
How about answering the question now?
Yeah, you totally jumped over the question.
Oh no, I mean
you were pointing and acting all like you knew shit, and then you didn't.
Well, no, I was promoting Views with Hughes. That's what I do. Am I? Would I be surprised?
To get fired on Monday,
Mikey.
Okay.
So
I'm out of here.
Things going on in Hollywood with this. Number one, you have the wokeness of a Catholic culture. Get back here, golly, we're just having fun. All right, get back here, culture. Stop that. I love you. We're just having fun. God, no.
We're having fun, but we do mean it at the same time.
Right. Exactly. Number one is that Kathleen Kennedy's woke anyway, so she's going to put the stuff up because that's what people do. But the fact that there's a ton of money in Hollywood floating around that supports this, and a lot of that money is at Disney in the form of its largest institutional stockholders, certainly aids and abets these cultural felonies that are occurring. Or in this case, it's a conspiracy to commit, because I don't actually think this movie is ever going to happen. But if it does, it will then turn into a cultural felony when it happens.
Oh, I think it's going to happen.
Right now, it's a conspiracy to commit.
I think it's going to happen.
I think Bob Iger should be committed.
And I think
look, what do I hope? I hope it gets. My hope is they make it and release it, and then it bombs. That is my hope. I really hope that happens.
I think they've gotten a lot farther along than we think, in fact, because even Adam Driver has commented on it. Somebody asked him about it, and he said, I'm not a part of it, but they're doing something, which means he's been asked.
Ooh, that's right. Good point.
Which means he said no, because they were probably going to have Baby Daddy Ghost.
Right. Right. I could just imagine him coming back.
I do not believe I am the father till I've seen a paternity test.
You on a Skype later? Is that what they call it now? Skyping?
What is
that a thing?
Skyping anymore?
I don't know. Whatever they did to talk to each other while his shirt was off.
Forced Skyping.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I did not know until Kathleen Kennedy showed up that you could force so hard that you would Elvis yourself.
I love how they managed to get a whole bunch of new powers in the sequel trilogy. It's amazing.
Yeah. Like force steal the shit that's on your body.
See, we just needed a woman this whole time to show us.
Thank God. It's about time.
Before the Views with Hugh super chat goes by, I'll give another promo.
Yes, please.
And plug. He's got a show later today. I will be on it for about a half hour to an hour later today.
All right.
I
You
believe
be
that's
there.
at 7:00 Eastern.
And you were giving me stuff because I was promoting him.
But I answered the question first.
And
He
you
answered
no
the
longer
question
sound
first.
like Andre.
Yep. This coffee tastes like shit. Sent us in a super chat. This was one
boy.
I thought you could help answer from Friday Culture. Says, which AI did you use once to turn Trek books into audiobooks with character voices? Also, this could be a good market for them to make cash for Paramount. So you were talking about the AI program it was used to make you do stuff.
I don't use it. Grant uses it, but he uses a combination of several different programs because right now he's even doing rapping with AI. He does amazing.
See, this is what I get every time I ask these motherfuckers this question. They're like, well, we use a lot of different kinds. It's like, just give me a few fucking names.
I'm going to say it again.
I've asked like 5 people now. Nobody gives me a straight answer.
I have an editor who is very talented.
It's like it's a big fucking secret or something.
I love this.
I have an editor who's very talented. If you reach out to Mr. Grant Gregory, he will point you in the correct.
You know what he tells me?
direction.
He's busy working for you whenever I ask him something.
Well,
Culture's the figurehead on that channel. Mr. Grant Gregory does all the work. He writes his videos. He edits them.
Hey, look, AI Culture Casino's video yesterday was brilliantly done. You're right, Six.
So I'm sorry, Coffee. He has no answers for you, just like he does for me. Never has any answers. I guess their Bing Images is one that I know of.
That does
there's a
voices
program.
now?
No, I don't know about the voice part, but the actual images maybe. I don't know anything about voices. You're gonna have to.
If you want to
CC's in the chat, he might know some.
Okay, if you want to get still pictures to talk, images that you generate front side whatever, you can use a program called Crazy Talk. It has multiple iterations. I think what I was using was Crazy Talk 8 from Real Illusion software. You can also animate characters using all of their other components. It's kind of like Adobe, what do they call it, Creator Suite or whatever. But that definitely does work for that purpose. As far as voices, I mean, outside of voice mod, I think you'd be trying to target whatever Mr. Grant Gregory uses. I'll ask him and see if I can find out for him.
Crazy voices. That's what they say my name is.
See, and Tom's using an AI voice with Voice Mod Pro. So
wow, suddenly guy who doesn't know anything knows everything. Wow.
Zuba Dabba Deeba.
That's right.
All right.
Is that
well,
the Biden clone? Biden.
Yeah, that was my Biden thing. Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's very good.
Yeah. You kind of look like me with glasses and nerdy.
Thanks. Oh, you mean Chato?
Andre is going to fire us all.
That's right. Well, thank you, Coffee. Hopefully that helps answer your question a little bit. CC is in the chat. I see that. We were asking if there's any good voice AI programs, CC, if you can think of any. But yes, there we go. So moving along, Turtle Tracking won. Congratulations. The answer was geographical location. That is correct.
Wow.
And you don't win anything. I
No,
don't have
you
anything
do.
to give you.
I'm putting it in the chat right now.
What do you win?
There we go.
You won. There you go. There's your present.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, but it may be a dick in a box.
Whoa, not mine.
Wasn't there
That's
a
right. This
song
is
about
not
that?
Midnight's
This is
Edge
not
After
my
Dark. I know. I keep forgetting. DCV Titan sends in a Canadian 5 and says 6 claims not to watch porn, yet she's sitting Piper Perry pushing X to doubt.
Huh?
I don't get it.
What if I change my avatar to Andre and then I sit in the corner staring down at you? Will that be enough to keep you in line?
Maybe.
No, I need you to whip me and touch. No, wait, there I go. See, now you guys
Hey,
sucked me into
Mikey.
this. Stop it.
Jesus. Stop
See?
talking about your dates. Yeah, I think he's having doubts that you watch porn or not. Patrick Robinson sends in $4.99, says, any news on when Godzilla -1 hits physical? I'm hearing February, but I think that's a rumor. That sounds probably plausible, Patrick. I saw the Steelbook art is leaked out, so that's generally a good sign that it's not too far away.
I looked into that, and there was somebody had asked that same question, and so some people were theorizing that the last movie that Toho Films had put out, they were looking at the timeline for when it made it to Blu-ray or disc, and it was like over a year.
Wow.
So
now I remember Shin Godzilla had a weird release. Like it got released in Japan in 4K, and then we got a really crappy release like a year after. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, or if you're talking about a totally different movie, but yeah, we'll see how this works out. Since I've already seen the Steelbook cover, I think they're going to try and get this one out quicker than the last one.
No,
we'll
the
see.
one that I saw, it was just a conversation. It wasn't a Godzilla film. It was just the last one.
Oh, okay. Just another film.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because the last one, see, that's the thing is I think depending on the rights issue, because like somebody can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I think the company that released the released Shin Godzilla actually has like a license with Toho, but I could be wrong because I think they've released a couple of the other Toho movies in the last few years too. But they may have to go through them. I don't know. Nightwish fan 1991 is here though. That I know, and he sends in $10. Says can't wait for the Ray movie in 2028. $300+ million budget, 4 rounds of reshoots, and 5 release date delays. Well, they got to finish shooting Rise of Palpatine first. As soon as they finish shooting that, then they can start shooting the Ray movie. Yeah. How many movies has she made since the last one? Like 2 movies? 3? Because she was in the Kenneth Branagh movie. And she did one with Tom Holland, didn't she? Yep. I can't think of the other one, but I think you're right. She's done at least one more. Hey, she can say she was doing better than Mark Hamill at this point. Because Mark Hamill had like no career for a while, it felt like. Then he finally started popping up in a few things. But yeah. Views with Hughes, Agenda Free News, sends in $2. Says thanks to Culture for plugging him. Thank you for that. Then the Elusive sends in $10. He's not very elusive today. Says saw G-1 Wednesday. It's a final night, and saw Madam Web poster, which consists of blow up of Dakota Johnson's face and nothing else. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Yeah. Now Dakota Johnson, that's the one that's Don Johnson's daughter, right?
Yes, and I've seen her with nothing on, so I have to tell you.
Melanie Griffith, is that her mom, or is it?
Yes, you are correct.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. No. Famously, Dakota Johnson was in the 50 Shades of Grey films. So
I know. Sadly, she's not a very good actress. At least someone I've seen.
I didn't notice. So.
Oh, okay. I get the Piper Perry joke now. Kitty Bear filled me in. The Piper Perry chick is the chick that was surrounded by all the black dudes on the white couch.
Huh?
They're all wearing nothing but white t-shirts and underwear. You ever seen that?
No.
Let's read this one. You want to read it, Mikey?
Go ahead and read it.
The DCV Titan for Canadian, $5 from Canada. There you go, Team Canada. Piper Perry, porn star, most known for a picture of her on a couch surrounded by 5 black guys.
Yeah, you guys have seen this picture.
Well, I didn't want you to pull it up.
Nope. This is the first time.
First time I've ever seen it.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
Serious.
It's even a meme now. Yeah, I've seen this a million different ways.
I think I've seen the Disney Pixar version of this.
Yeah, I have.
I've never seen it.
You lie, Mikey.
That's because
that's not Dylan.
No, it's not Dylan.
No.
Script Doctor and Mexican Iron Man are civilized.
That would be Dylan in heaven if that was
It looks
Dylan.
like Mulvaney.
It does kind of now that you say that.
That's
Piper Perry.
Oh my God. Okay.
This coffee tastes like shit. Sends in another 35 South African Rand. Says, what happens when Ray flops? Human sacrifice required. So who will go? Will Disney admit they fucked up and forced a reboot? Kennedy will be gone by then. Okay.
Well, there is that rumor that Kennedy might be gone by the time a new regime might just come in and kill the movie.
I haven't heard that yet, but I was going to refer this to script because as I was thinking about this, I'm like, this is some pretty wacky 4D chess here. I'm not saying they're setting him up to fail, but if the Rey movie does fail, I can see them sacrificing Filoni, going along with Script Doctor's theory about him being basically put up like Victoria Alonso kind of was.
Yeah, promoted to the position of failure.
Wow, that would be tragic.
I can't elaborate any more on that. I'm sorry.
No, sorry, I didn't. I thought you cut out there for a second. That was my fault.
That would be tragic.
Yeah, no, not really, but yeah, no, it's possible. And that could be the scapegoat if this all fails, because he's the creative director now. So the next few projects that come out are going to be under his purview. So there we go. So as far as Kennedy being gone, I think she's going to outlive us all.
Maybe.
She has no reason to have to go anywhere.
She has eaten so many babies' souls. I think she's going to be here for a good 300 years.
She probably teamed up with the Flash too. Opening scene, the Flash movie. Get it?
Oh, the other Flash. Ezra Miller sacrificing babies in a microwave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Worst scene in DC history ever.
Well, I mean, I always wanted to know. I can't finish that joke. I'm going to stop.
I don't think they will ever reboot anything.
Nope.
I mean, they may eventually. There may be a point in a contract somewhere where after 50 years or something like that, or 30 years after George Lucas dies, they might be able to, because that's kind of what was in Hitchcock's deal. For those who may not remember, like, he had it stipulated that you had to wait, I think it was 25 or 30 years after his death to be able to remake anything. So that's why we got a bunch of those remakes in quick succession, and they all failed, so they quit doing it. Like Psycho, and they did a couple of different versions of Rear Windows.
To try and ward off anyone else from remaking.
That's what I had heard too. I don't know if you heard that same story too, Script, but yeah.
I just reiterated it, man.
That was all it was. Yeah.
Yes, that he specifically did a shot-for-shot remake.
I didn't know if you meant hearing it from me, though, is what I meant.
No, in the industry. And also there's Gus Van Sant has some interesting rumors around that as well that he alluded to. But it was primarily just, you should not be remaking Hitchcock films, and I'm going to prove why, and I'm going to make it very expensive and costly to the people that wanted it to be remade.
Yeah, I've heard that rumor too. In fact, I thought I even heard it come directly from him, but I could be wrong, or at least somebody who said that they heard him say that. But anyway, as far as Kennedy leaving and a reboot, I don't see either one happening anytime real soon. I think Kathleen's there for at least another 2-3 years, at least.
Who's going to replace her? That's the thing. Like, they're not. Maybe Carrie Beck might be, but they haven't done enough to put her in the center seat, so to speak.
If you start seeing a bunch of Vanity Fair articles with Carrie Beck, then we'll know it's about time, probably. Like Script saying, I think.
Pretty much.
Yeah, when they're setting her up to be the new face of Locust film. Kenneth LaRock has been here for 29 months. Holy crap, Oli. Thank you for that, Kenneth LaRock. Then we got Packing Protons, who says Packing Protons Games and Animation, sends in $10 and says, I've had good luck with AI soundtrack separation. Yeah, this is somebody I know who messes with that stuff. My TMNT 1987 soundtrack archival project is on my channel now, but I can't find a good cartoon voice cloner. Maybe the tech isn't there yet. Oh, yeah, that or you just haven't found the right tech. Kind of. Cowabunga! My voice ain't the greatest today, though. Sebastian Skarheim, I think I said that right, sends in 59 Norwegian Kronen, says, since Andre is sitting this one out, I'll be representing the Norwegian Vikings in the Super Chats as backup. Hail Norway. All right. Sounds good.
Sebastian, your Mexican cousins, thank you for your commitment to the show.
You probably just insulted him. Wartooth88 sends in $5, says, I just recently read David Copperfield book. There was nothing in it about an island or any damn magic. Very disappointing. Yeah, I can see how that could be disappointing.
When he first posted that, I laughed heartily. I
know, I get it, and I'm not going to even say why. If you don't, I'm sorry, but we're not getting into that. Mark Lyons sent in 200. Oh gosh, what is this? I should know this.
We should ask Jimmy Kimmel.
I think it's
if it will elaborate.
No, don't even go there. I don't need to get sued.
Taiwan.
Yeah, I think it was Tiwani. Yeah, I can't talk.
Taiwanese?
I think that's the word I was trying to say. Yeah, whatever word. Yeah, because he's Thai.
Thai bot.
I can't.
11
Yeah,
doesn't chat.
I can't wait for the physical release of Zilla -1. My Thai was not good enough to see it in theaters here. Thank you all for being one of the sources I trust. Well, thank you for listening, Mark. And yeah, hopefully it should be out sooner than later. So we'll see here on that. But we're going to put a pin in the super chats for now. And I got a story here that I thought was kind of funny. Christopher Nolan's Peloton instructor slammed one of his movies during a workout. Told the class, that's a couple hours I'll never get back again. I saw the video. It's kind of funny. She's like, seriously, that didn't make any sense.
I was surprised how she talked on that video. I mean, I know it's different than going to the gym, but I've never had a gym instructor swear. She said the F word.
Yeah, she
that's
did.
What Peloton is they're supposed to yell at you and motivate you to.
Oh,
you're watching fake TV or fake exercise videos to exercise to.
I'm gonna see if I can find the video here because it's kind of funny.
And I did see that Peloton stock is up 14%. I'm sure there's no correlation, but I just thought that was funny.
Why are the exercise videos fake? I don't. Just teach me. I don't know.
Is it because it's not it's not a live instructor script? I don't know.
No, in some cases it is live.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of like the joke.
Yeah, I got the video here. Here we go.
This song is from the soundtrack of a movie called Tenet. Anybody see this shit? Did anybody see this besides me? Because I need a manual. Someone's got to explain this. Yeah, I'm not kidding. What the fuck was going on in that movie? You understand? Seriously, you need to be a neuroscientist to understand. And that's 2.5 hours of my life that I want back. I want it back.
I guess this is his instructor. So yeah.
Well,
she's trying to motivate him to make some better fucking movies, evidently.
All I know is that it does take a brain power to understand what's going on there.
No. It was just fucking boring culture. I tried watching it.
And I thought it was a great film. Once again, my biggest complaint is with the sound design and sound editing. That's the thing Nolan sucks at.
Every other movie he makes is okay, and that's about it. That's about the best I can say.
He doesn't put dialogue in the center channel, so you're like garbled garbage. What seriously trying to?
Oppenheimer's probably his best movie, to be honest with you.
All right.
Oh, that had its issues.
It did, but no. As far as like his movies go, like they're all pretty pretentious. Like the only ones I can stand are like Insomnia. I liked Inception, but I mean, if I don't ever see it again, I'm not going to cry about it. I thought his war one was okay.
Look, I mean,
Dunkirk. Yeah, Dunkirk was.
Yeah, Dunkirk was okay.
The thing is, he's never not going to try.
Right.
It's his stuff is not paint by numbers.
I just find him to be one of the more overrated directors we got right now. He's like Ridley Scott 2.0 waiting to happen.
I think it's overrated calling a director overrated.
Yeah, well, you're overrated.
That goes without saying.
Actually, I believe you're underrated.
Directors that we've got that's actually directing. So I
No, I'll give you that. I'm just kind of picking on him today. I found this kind of funny. I actually liked Oppenheimer a lot. So Memento, I don't know. Memento was weird. Memento was a movie that a fucking like a film school. I just gonna say a film school student makes and thinks he's brilliant.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, you're absolutely true. Yes.
But the problem was he was already out of film school by that point, I believe.
It's the movie that got him started.
It is.
Yeah, but it takes a few attempts for a film school director to get out of film school mindset. Nolan, oddly enough, keeps failing at that because he's got film school ideas that are interesting because film school ideas technically are interesting, but his actual work ethic, while decent, I would say is lacking in some regards. He relies on a lot. He uses a bunch of gimmicks. He makes up fake problems on set to have embolden his crew and himself to solve that never really happened. Like the most famous one, the Heath Ledger flicking the switch on the detonator to blow up the hospital, not screwing up, that wasn't real. Every single microsecond of that one take was planned rigorously, and nothing was improvised or problem solved or anything of that nature. And the people that believe those stories are the reason why Nolan is getting an inflated ego and reputation.
They let him set off a bomb. No, I just thought it was kind of a funny story to touch on here. But another funny story.
I still have to say he's one of the most talented directors we have.
Oh yeah, he's one of those guys that came out of that last generation. Yeah. Jeffrey Wright says a studio hired a replacement actor to dub him after he refused to censor the N-word in the film. He said, "Nah, that's not happening." Did you guys hear about this?
No.
So I guess on the airplane version of Ride with the Devil, he plays a former slave fighting for his freedom. In the scene, which is kind of the apex of his awakening and his need to emancipate himself, he says, "Being that man's friend ain't no more than being his N-word, and I'll never be anyone's N-word." Well, they wanted him to change that because of the plane version. The studio at the time was so conflicted about how we market it. Ultimately, they decided we don't need to market it at all. Wright continued. Then they had me come in and do an airplane version of the dialogue. They said the N-word here, and we'd like you to change that to the other one that I'm not going to say, or whatever the choice was. I said, "Nah, that's not happening." And they found some other actor to come in and do the one word. Apparently so that the airplane folk would be comfy in the darkness of their own ignorance around the language of a race.
Yeah, they got Pauly Shore to do it.
Yeah.
So no one would be able to tell the difference in the insert.
We's in the juice, brah.
Buddy. Holly, YouTube channel. Maybe we can get him on here.
I don't know. I mean, I think as an actor, you have to understand the sensibilities of the different media locations, and money's money. And
True, but I get what he's saying here.
No, I totally get it too. But
because you know what? He could have also argued that up until the last 10, 15 years, you could say that word on television and nobody ever censored it.
Yeah, but here's the bigger thing. If the entire movie requires that word to be the pillar of its support structure, then the movie's a failure. If you're not understanding the point of the movie and requires that one word, then it's a bad movie.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Oh, yeah,
because
you're wrong.
Well, I was just going to say, the reason I say that is because I remember Quentin Tarantino and Samuel Jackson and Jamie Foxx coming out and dealing with a lot of flack over that during Django Unchained. And I mean, honestly, I don't know if you could take that word out of that movie and it still have the same impact. Like sometimes certain words do have specific impacts that you just can't replace. And I think I kind of agree with Wright here. Right. I mean, like it to me, I don't see why they should have to change it even for an airplane version of it. I disagree with that.
Well, I mean, this is the how many angels swim on the head pin, head of a pin, argument. Who cares? I mean,
well, I'm just saying the sentence no longer makes sense without the word. If you think about it.
No, well, that's a different issue. If the sentence doesn't make sense anymore, and they can't find a substitute like Wankel rotary motor or something.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and that's what he's arguing. I believe is that there really isn't a word that can really replace the impact of the word that he's trying to say. I mean, even the other version of it is still.
No, I'm not talking about impact. I'm talking about sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even in the sense or the impact of the
those
the
are
whole
two different things. They could be together, but again, I don't know the sentence. But
well, you said it. Being that man's friend is no different than being his N-word.
Right. That's right.
And I will never be anyone's N-word. Right. And he said it's during a pinnacle scene. So yeah, I just thought it was an interesting debate to be had.
He's a good actor too. So yeah, I mean, we're going to have those discussions. Old movies are getting all the old James Bond movies that are being shown in the UK are now getting warnings.
Actually, I saw
lascivious activity is happening, ogling, Danger, ogling ahead. Female gaze ahead. Watch.
Actually, I saw Gary post that, and actually, the Bond movies are just more in a recent line. Every single import I've gotten from the UK has one of those trigger warnings in front of it now.
That's right.
I'm not
Trigger
kidding.
warning.
Even Highlander and some other ones did too.
Wow. I'm just watching.
I have a question as a brown dude, and in North America, I have a brown dude North American question. How did British people go from being the planet's conquerors to a bunch of wussy sissies?
I don't know. Maybe basically when they got their ass whooped by a couple Americans. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know. I'm all about Team Commonwealth. Let's bring back some battleships. Get them out on the high seas. Let's go exploring. Woohoo!
I think they're trying to overcompensate for that era of their lives, and they got nothing to compensate for. I won't get into the details specifically, but they had a massive immigration of a certain group of people that for nearly 20 years were grooming white underage girls for prostitution, and they were scared to death of dealing with it because it was a left-wing government, and by dealing with it they would have brought to the surface their own failings with regards to immigration. So the solution was to let underage white girls get raped for 20 years as opposed to actually dealing with admitting they made a mistake, which is what every government should do. You got to save face. Saving face is actually more important. That's
demonetized.
And so did I cross the line?
I don't know. The R word is usually not a good
one.
Ooh,
sorry. Yes, my apologies. I was trying to be careful. Anyway, so from that point on, things have just never really turned around in the UK, and it's been one incident after another, dealing with knifings in London, and yeah, it's tough. It's too bad because anyway, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, let's get back into super chats here. We got the Garth Knight returns. Uber B Man sends in $4.99, says this recent hubbub with Star Wars is just set blatant spite for fans. Customers mostly why anyone is sticking around is beyond rational thought.
Well, they're not. And the arguments that people have been making have been pretty good. Just give us a good Star Wars. I don't think that's a bad argument. But even then, I think most of us have completely given up. I've renamed it Dark Wars after the Dark Ages. So this entire Disney era, I'm calling Dark Wars. And I don't know when we're going to come out of it. Maybe after we need the Renaissance is what we need. Where's the Medicis of cinema?
Yeah, it's hard to argue with. But yeah, I think at this point, pretty much the only people who are around are those that enjoyed the sequel trilogy. And
they are. And I have found them. And that's been an interesting revelation, is just how many fans really love this Disney era of Star Wars. They are out there and they are loving.
You know what's sad though is they're not even nearly as bad as the Snyder Crew. Because I've had this.
Oh, I bet you the Snyder Crew is worse. There's
much worse. Because here's one example. I had this post that has taken the fuck off in the last couple days, and I've almost ratioed the original post now. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but it was the stupid Rey jump scene, and whoever posted it originally says, if you say this isn't cool, you're lying. I said, it's dumb as fuck.
Yeah, that was a good post. No, this was.
Oh, I said it was dumb as fuck.
That's right, completely dumb. It was one of those things where, I envision this scene. Let's try to way to shoehorn it in.
Well, the only reason I brought it up is because I've hardly even gotten any pushback. I've gotten like a handful.
You mean on your comment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to a Snyder comment. Now, if I'd have put that on a Snyder comment, they'd have come out the woodwork at me. That's what I'm saying is I think even they don't even have the amount of people out there to to even give a shit anymore. I think it's so
on
dead.
the Star Wars side.
Yeah, I think it's that dead. Is my
It depends
point.
if whether you poke the rainbow contingent.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they're not there, but my point is like in comparison to other fandoms, like even the Marvels, I think I got a little more pushback on.
But you're looking at a niche of a niche of a niche.
Now they are, yeah.
Yeah, and you're listening to the vocal niche of a niche of a niche, and for in Tom's sake, a niche of a niche of a niche of a niche. So I feel like that's the smallest portion of humanity that seems to be guiding the bus in a lot of these areas that, you know, corporations are just now figuring out as we see massive layoffs, firings, you know, location shutdowns, et cetera, that was the wrong, you know, avenue to pursue. It has cost them billions of dollars in the case of Disney, of course. And, you know, when you look at something as large as Google and other entities, look at Google, man, they're slashing offices, locations, and staff left and right.
And shutting down die offices.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. I mean, you're looking at DYING, you know, dying, and it's something that needed to happen. And in a good economy, you can cover for a lot of bullshit. In a bad economy, you can't cover for shit.
No, that's true. And sometimes when you're making a lot of money and you don't really know how or why you're making it, you're patting yourself on the back saying, man, are we geniuses?
Our leadership team is top notch, and all of this investment in this DIE bullshit is, you know, the reason.
But I think Disney's going to be the last holdout on this. I mean, just look at their present record. They are going to go to the grave holding on to this DEI bullshit.
They have a history of doing that. It's in their very nature and culture.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
We got Gabatron here who sends in 5 Canadian, a fellow Canadian here. Says, what if the new board members at Disney are Iger's way of removing woke and plausible deniability? Iger's not going to bring anybody in who's going to challenge him.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, I'm with Jonas right now, Jonas J. Campbell over at that Park Place in thinking that the people that are coming in there, and I think Mike's actually spoken to this as well, if he's not playing Andre currently, that maybe this latest batch of activist investors are unwelcome by Iger, at least this one of them anyway, who seems to be offering up some board selections that maybe aren't necessarily in Disney's best interest. So again, you've got to park these elitists somewhere, but I think Disney needs to be figuring out that maybe not bringing them in is maybe a saving role they critically need, to speak in D&D parlance. Anyway, just my thoughts.
Yeah, no, I don't think Iger's going to bring in anybody who's going to want to challenge him, at least not on purpose. Garth Knight returns. Uber B-Man sends in 499, says this. Oh, we got this one already.
Yeah, I think so.
Hoopalulu sends in 999 and says, how does the Toho Universal deal work with -1 and Monarch being released the same year? I thought that would be it. Okay, first of all, it's Legendary, not Universal, but that's all right. And -1 was released last year. Monarch's a TV show, and they just can't do a theatrical release in the same year. So with King Kong versus Godzilla coming out again this year, they can't release another movie in theaters. That's all. So yeah, they got it out last year, so they're fine. And Monarch was on television, so it didn't count. And my understanding is I think this deal is only in the US anyway. So but that's my understanding of that. Hyperguyver 2 sends in $5, says Nolan makes pseudo intellectual crap even he doesn't understand. When he's not ripping off people better than himself. Oh yeah, there's that aspect too. He's constantly being accused of plagiarism of some type.
Well, he Inception plagiarizes a anime, which
Andre argues it rips off a Scrooge McDuck comic.
Yeah, but Andre's on mushrooms.
That has nothing to do with that.
Sure,
they're part of his normal
Scrooge
diet.
McDuck on mushrooms, it looks like Inception.
Yeah, but they're part of his normal diet. So.
Yeah, that's right. Psilocybin, Norwegian psilocybin.
That's how he gets up in the morning.
That's right.
Alec Baldwin's trigger fingers here. Holy crap. Sends in $5 and says, at Dunkirk, the beach was packed with equipment and hundreds of thousands of evacuating soldiers. The movie's beach was deserted. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people challenge the historical elements of Dunkirk, but I'm just talking about the film itself. I thought it was watchable and understandable. See, that's my problem with Nolan is when I go in is like, am I going to understand this one? Because like then you have movies like Interstellar, which was great up until the last like what half hour, 20 minutes, when it's this stupid weird time travel thing with the library and all that. It's like dimensions and it's like, are you fucking kidding? What the fuck is this? So dumb.
I never saw that. That's with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, yep. It was good up until near the end. It was just like, what the fuck? It just has this weird ending. Just
maybe he wanted it to be his 2001.
Oh yeah, clearly.
Definitely. Oh yeah, clearly.
I think there's no debate there.
Okay.
And he almost succeeds until the end. Like I said, it was really good until the end, and then the end just turns weird, and it's just not like
astronaut in the bookshelf. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking dumb. Wartooth88 sends in $5 and says, new Lucasfilm regime. Paul, have you been talking to Mike Zero?
I've been talking about just sweep everybody out and replace them with all the Fox people who actually know how to crank out movies.
Well, it seems like all the Fox people are getting Me Too'd out the building.
Yeah, for sure. That's to be expected because they actually know how to crank out product.
Yeah. We got Accident Seller who sends in 15 Norwegian Krona, says, being a white boy fan of 90s rap, I have no qualms about saying titles with the N-word in it. One can't be that sensitive or offended by that stuff. I'm not. I just know that the YouTube bots will come after us. So that's why I don't even like saying the other version of it.
Ricky Gervais in his latest Netflix special, which maybe is his weakest one, has one really good joke, and he talks about the appropriation of black culture, hair, food, or whatever by white people and how that is being called out. And he said the one thing the black community is appropriating from white people is the N-word, which I thought was a hilarious gag. No one gets it.
Oh, I get it. I do think it's funny, but I think it's a little weak on Gervais's part.
Well, the whole show is his weakest.
Yeah, I want to watch that one.
That gag got me. So
I want to watch that one, and I want to see Chappelle's, but I don't have Netflix right now, so I'm just pushing it off as long as I can. I don't want to get Netflix back. Gervais, I like him, but his stand-up shows are kind of dry. Is that the word I'm looking for?
No, it's his last two were prior to this.
He's good, but he's better at like hosting and doing like little.
I don't know.
You're saying he's better at a controlled monologue.
Yes, because anytime I've seen a couple of his shows and they're good, and you're right, he gets a couple bits here and there, but the rest of it's just kind of meandering, kind of him just bitching about shit.
Meandering. No one meanders like Chappelle. Come on.
I don't know. Well, Chappelle is one of those where
he tells stories.
He can, but I think that's the problem is because he's done so many concerts in the last couple of years here. Because his early shit compared to his new stuff is a world of difference.
Sure.
Like you watch Killing Me Softly, like that is pound for pound up there in the top 10 greatest stand-up comedy shows of all time. Like I like just from beginning to end, it is a perfectly tuned comedy show. Like as good as any of Eddie Murphy's, which I would say Eddie Murphy's probably one of the best there ever was. And I mean, you got Richard Pryor and George Carlin are probably the only two I'd put above him on that.
Carlin was the master, but he scripted and talked into him.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like old Chappelle was very, very sharp, but now in his recent years, he's been doing these just like endless shows. So it's like, you know, when a comedian goes in and just keeps trying different sets all the time and they never really kind of settle on anything. That's kind of where he's at now. Is he's just, yeah, you're right. He is kind of just meandering through his life.
Well, he's the
experience now more than anything.
He's our comedic philosopher.
Yeah, he's kind of turning into a bit of a George Carlin, but George Carlin was still more precise in his delivery with his what he was doing.
Words were hugely important to Carlin. I mean,
but I would say the following that he has right now is very similar in a sense, because the counterculture sadly has now become the other side.
Yeah.
When you got Green Day up there basically going along with the
let them have their money.
The best news I had this week was that Rage Against the Machine, or I guess it's Rage for the Machine now.
Yeah, Rage for the Machine now.
They're breaking up for the third time. So thank God. You know?
Zephyr is here and says, with $2 Canadian, Canada will be exactly like the UK soon. Yeah, you guys aren't much better up there. What the fuck?
No, things are. You know what? Your kindness has always been the Canadian byword, and it's worked very well for a good long time. But it doesn't work when the people don't want to reciprocate anymore. And I don't know what the solution is. Yeah, it's a drag. So
kind of a drag. DCB Titan sends in 5 Canadian and says, Paul, it's not that hard. Just look at El Salvador. All you need is the will to address the problem and not care what the left thinks.
Well, we want a dictator? We have a dictator. And everyone's on my ass. Like, what's going on? What?
I love taters, but I'm not going to put my diddle in it.
The culture, you were interrupted.
It's fine. Sorry. No, I was just saying he's just emulating his father.
I know.
Yeah, I mean that's all.
I totally get it. I was there. I'm still here.
Yeah, I know. You probably hung out with Castro when he was hanging out.
Oh yeah, I went to dinner with him.
Moving along.
He was not a very nice guy, but his trumpet work was fantastic.
You did not have dinner with Castro.
Dude could really throw a curveball too.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that he was a very good baseball player.
I blame the Dodgers on Cuba. I blame I blame Cuba. No, on the Dodgers. Yes, that's what I meant.
Oh, I see.
You lying. You ain't never met no Fidel Castro.
You know what? If the Yankees had like picked him in the draft, then there would be, no Cuba. That was a big mistake. There wouldn't have
been a Bay of Pigs.
Paul totally missed the pickup there. You're supposed to say, fuck you, and fuck you. Who's next?
That was a good
What's that from?
Oh, it's from Coming to America. I met Martin Luther King. You did not meet Martin Luther the King. Yes, it did. Punch me in my chest. Fuck you, and fuck you. Who's next?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were somebody else.
So that's all right.
They got away with a lot of stuff in that movie.
They did. And you know what? Movie. We didn't freak out. They were doing whiteface.
Oh God, yeah. Eddie Murphy as the old Jewish guy is hilarious as Oh Jesus.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not going to say that joke.
He used to hang out with a bunch of Yiddish guys. He said when he was younger, he would just sit there and listen to him talk.
Oh yeah, that excuses him. Oh yes, I hung out with.
He got candy bars and stuff. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Karuk sends in $5. Says, Culture, please trim your beard. Every time you shake your head, you look like that fat guy with jiggling jowls. Oh, wait, he don't look that bad.
It looks great. With the beard.
I like the jiggly beard.
Are you talking about the guy from Star Wars, the underwater guy?
Oh, maybe.
Do you remember? The Cyndi Lauper's guy?
The wrestlers.
Yeah. Anyway, like I'm thinking about like braiding it, like having like little like
with the rubber bands and shit,
like maybe pigtails.
Stuff.
Yeah,
a bunch of pigtails
with those little wooden beads on the end of them.
Yeah, Lou Albano, that's who you're thinking of. Thank you guys in chat.
Thank you, Lou Albano.
I think that would be a good look. Braid them and put little beads. I think it'd be cool.
Or like maybe I just go Terminator X and I do the goatee thing that I braid down to like here.
Ooh,
there you go. You know what they say about Cyndi Lauper? She's so
unusual.
No, she's so unusual.
Yes, but she likes your true colors. They're shining through.
She thinks the Goonies are good enough, though.
That's right.
I like it. I like her.
love her.
Leave her alone.
Yeah,
I
Tom.
like Cindy too.
I'm not picking on her. That was something she always said. Jesus.
One of the coolest.
Actually, she does a lot of producing, from my recollection now.
Well, one of the coolest features at Disney at any point in time was that she had a music video that was put together by Kodak, who was sponsoring both Captain EO and then eventually Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in their Magic Eye Theater. And that was probably one of the highlights of my Disney trips when I was younger, was the fact that she did the beautiful music for that. She was singing True Colors. It was amazing.
She actually did.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, that's it. No.
She actually did a theme song for a Saturday morning cartoon, well, not cartoon show, but a Saturday morning show. I don't know if you guys know which one it was.
Nope.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
That's her theme?
Yeah, she did that. Yeah, that's
Man,
her singing.
that was a good show. Holy
It was so
smokes.
great. Yeah.
I got up and watched that with my daughter.
I didn't find that out until after Paul died. Because she had
died?
she was Paul Rubens, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she had said something about it, about working with him back in the day. And yeah, I think she's credited under, I can't remember what name, but it's one of her other names that, because, you know, sometimes musicians have other names.
And there's a guy who really celebrated diversity and really worked hard to bring all sorts of people into that show.
Pee-wee? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you had trans, gay, black. I mean, you had
well, it's because he came up through the groundlings and stuff.
Groundlings, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a breakthrough show. I mean, and it's funny because when we watched it, we actually recognized the fact what he was doing, but nobody was offended by it.
No, but what he did in the theater, a few people were, but yeah.
but
I still say it was bullshit, but yeah.
Anyways, whatever, that should never have killed his career.
Sadly, it did for a while, but I still remember him coming out on the MTV Movie Awards. Hear any good jokes lately?
Nice guy.
When he first showed himself in public as Pee-wee again. Andrew Etsy is here and sends in £9.99. Wow, that's fancy money. Says, Happy New Year, Lady Six and gentlemen. As a black man, what an idiot said about the Tekken 8 characters is ridiculous, embarrassing, finding things to be offended about where it doesn't exist. Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday on Mr. H's stream. That guy was just weird. What this is about is some idiot was complaining about black characters in Tekken, and the creators just kind of dropped on him and said, actually there's like 2 or 3 characters in it. And he was just mad because the specific character he wasn't. That's what it all was about, I guess.
Happy New Year, Andrew.
Happy New Year, Andrew. And then we've got McFly here. Hello, McFly. Sends in £2. It says, Nolan lacks worth ethic. Envy is awful.
Question mark.
Did he have something to do with that movie Envy? Or is that...
No. He's making an accusation towards me. Nolan comes up with an idea and then he doesn't research it any further, which is why a lot of people criticize the authenticity of a lot of his films.
So that's what you
mean by work ethic. If you're not going to put in the work to research the subject you're talking about, you do not have good work ethic. Simple as that.
Right, but he has work ethic in making the movie. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
He needs work ethic.
I think he's the better Nolan.
He is, because Jonathan sucks too.
Jonathan sucks
a lot,
rocks.
actually.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Nolan's giving you Fallout, the feminist.
How do you fuck up Westworld?
By not looking at the fact that it's basically a play on human viruses for computers and how they can have terrible effects on people.
I don't think he watched it.
No, he never watched it. He wanted to do a thing about AI, and then he rebranded it as Westworld, and then he did the Peripheral with his wife. Again, a piece of crap show.
Terrible show.
And again, I'm going to tell you, he married Lisa Joy. That's how you end up with Westworld. That's how you end up with Peripheral. That's how you end up with
The problem is they know nothing about science fiction, or they don't even know our existing technological universe, and just make up shit. Like it's terrible. Oh,
Yeah, that's the Nolan family.
Drives me nuts. Oh,
There are
he's
degrees
related?
of quality, of course, but yeah, that's just what it is. They like, oh, I like science fiction. Great. Tell us your favorite sci-fi stories. Well, I don't read much. Like that's literally a Christopher Nolan conversation. He'll say, oh, I watch sci-fi movies, and then he'll praise the visual and aesthetic appeal of it. But rarely do I ever hear proper interviews where he actually talks about character and the underlying themes of what's going on there. That is not a superficial take on the subject matter. It's very, very much like I'm still a first year.
He clearly doesn't understand.
Well, because there are very few sci-fi movies. You have to read the books to get sci-fi. You're just not going to get it from. You're just not going to get it from movies.
I dare anybody to tell me anything about any of the characters in any of his movies other than what they do in the films.
Batman, he wears a cape.
Well, Batman's already a pre-made thing.
You
let's take that out of the equation.
I gave you an answer.
Well, let's take Batman out of the equation, though.
But the other time, his Batman is James Bond. That's the thing. It's not Batman.
That's true too. But my point is like the only other thing I can think of remotely is relationships, and that's it. And that is Leonardo DiCaprio's wife in Inception and the daughter in Interstellar. Otherwise, I can't think of anything character-wise about any of his characters in his movies. Like, except for maybe if I go back to Insomnia, I suppose you could probably pick a few things out about Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in that, or Robin Williams in that movie, but that's about it.
That's what's a bit trickier. Like the best relationships, I think his best movie was The Prestige, which is an adaptation and he didn't have much to do with the writing of it, which is probably why it's his best film. But when he's dealing with characters, like it just took me a minute to remember that Leonardo DiCaprio's name in Inception was Cobb. And I'm trying to think, well, who is he? What is he trying to do? Well, he's trying to get back to see his kids. And at no point, there's nothing like, well, why doesn't he just have his kids come out of the United States and be with him? Like they're missing out there's whole avenues of plot holes in that film. And also the concept of dreaming. Like, as I said before, I knew people, actually, I still kind of know people who study dreams and are like some of the biggest people in their field, like experts. And they watch Inception. They're like, it's about dreams. Great. We're hoping that, Christopher Nolan, the most authentic director, big, Hollywood hotshot right now on the rise. And they watch it and they're just scoffing at like, this is not how you have fun with dreams in a serious environment. You've circumvented all the gear porn of it. You've completely ignored the fact that there's an underlying psychology with dreams and how our lucidity varies from person to person. And you could have fun with that, but he didn't even explore that just because he didn't care. He's like, I just want to have an idea where we go into dream worlds that are artificial and time slows down and we just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. And that's as far as he's going to explore the idea. And it's like, you're robbing your audience of its own potential for it to be an actual groundbreaking movie and just making it a heist film with a mechanic that you don't understand. That's why I think Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man, far more effective of a heist movie than Inception, and also far more memorable because you actually understand everything that's going on and you understand the stakes a lot clearer.
Well, I will say this thing. I will say one good thing about Nolan. He's one of the few directors out there right now who can still get an original property made and actually get, a decent budget for it. Or actually probably a bloated budget if you think about it in most cases.
Him and William Pfister know how to frame a shot brilliantly. Like, I like.
Well, I mean, just nobody else is going to give anybody the kind of money they did to make Oppenheimer or Tenet or anything like that. He has that going for him, at least. Tarantino's probably the only other person in Hollywood that they just basically give a blank check to. And
which is both a benefit and a curse, because I think Nolan would work a lot better if he actually had a restrained budget. And Oppenheimer was the smallest budget film he'd had in a long time, and I think it did a lot better than it would have had he had an unlimited budget.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's his most. I know you didn't like it as much, Paul, but like I think it's his most tailored and probably disciplined film.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
Oppenheimer.
I love it. I went to see, I saw it.
Oh, okay. Well, because even at the 3-hour runtime,
I appreciated it a lot more than Nolan's other work. I thought like this is the type of Nolan I want to see more often.
Yeah. My biggest complaint about it was the score and the placement of the score. I thought it was completely out of whack. Otherwise, I felt he's finally even though it was a 3-hour movie, the pacing was well done. I understood what was going on. I didn't feel like I was lost in his meandering bullshit. And
didn't front load with exposition like he always does in his movies.
He did a good job of letting you know what you needed to know when you needed to know it.
Yep.
I certainly didn't understand those quiet moments accompanied by an insanely loud soundtrack.
Yeah. Well,
that's just
yeah.
well, he's aware that the audience is falling asleep, so then he has to wake them up.
I think RLM did a whole video on his sound mixing. But Accident Seller sends in 20 Norwegian krona and says CC looks like the World of Warcraft dwarf. Hashtag awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kind of does.
Yeah. But he has braided beard. I need to work on that.
That's true. But Culture has to leave us. Mikey actually had to slip out. He might be back. But Culture, did you have anything you wanted to plug on your way out the door?
Not publicly, no. But I do want to talk about a wonderful guest I will be having on the post flight. I'm about to turn that to stream live here in just a couple of moments for later today, which is post Friday Night Tights. As that's ending, the stream will begin. I am hosting the amazing artist and commentator, otherwise known as Geary Cassell, who has
formerly known as.
Yeah. He has a project out there in the world called Vindicated that we'll be talking about, but it will be a typical Friday post-flight interview style, and you'll get a chance to interact with him, have any questions you want to direct at him, and comment on his answers to the most important 3 questions I ask anybody.
That's going to be a great show. And
Yeah,
Vindicated is a good book. Go buy it. I'm the story editor on it. I can give you quality assurance.
There you go. So I'm looking forward to his promotion of it, and I also will encourage you to purchase it. So we'll be talking about that, but most importantly, we'll be focusing in on Geary and his background. And you know, if you're looking for great ways to spend the weekend, you can go back and watch all the previous episodes. One of them features this guy right here, and his name's Paul Chato, by the way. He's not paying attention. I was promoting him. And in the future, I'll have the script doctor as one of the people I get to interview. So yeah, keep an eye out. Lots of wonderful, talented people join me for that show. On that note, thanks for letting me in here, Tom. I know that I only snuck in the back door because I have the key. So, and I'll talk to you all later.
That's very gay.
All right. And with that, we got one more super chat here. Wartooth 88.
South Carolina.
Yes, we do. Says at $5. Says, I just watched Trading Places free on Pluto, completely uncensored. Even the famous Dan Aykroyd train scene, I was very surprised. Oh yeah, no, Sony hasn't edited it yet. Sony is one of the few companies who hasn't really edited anything that I know of out of their films. But I can't say so much for just about everybody else at this point.
Yeah, Pluto and Tubi are 2 of my new go-to places. I watched M with Peter Lorre. That was really interesting to go through that movie.
I don't watch so much streaming.
But I mean, they're free.
Yeah. I mean, I find good TV shows more so on the streaming services than anything.
Yeah.
But especially the classics. But yeah, no, Trading Places is a great film. Matt McPherson sends in $10, says, how would you guys feel about a Rey movie that takes a page out of Phantom Menace? She gives birth, raises a Force child like Anakin, and is haunted by Force-sensitive antagonists. Problem is, Matt, I don't give a shit about her character. Like, I actively don't like her at all. She's a Palpatine. Like, her existence is kind of... And the fact that she destroyed the Skywalker bloodline, I mean, unless she has a magic Force baby in her from Kylo Ben, that's the only way they can kind of right this ship. And even then, you're really pushing it. And we all know that's probably what it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
We're going to find out when he brought her back to life at the end of Rise of Palpatine that he impregnated her. You watch.
Yeah, without her consent. So, you know, deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Will it be all about space abortion? Is that what the whole movie is going to be about? Oh, Lord. Kind of like The Fly, too. Actually, most of that was covered in the first Fly. The kid was already born in the second one, but yeah.
I have no idea what this story is going to be.
Basically, from what we know so far from the short version, is she has gotten a new Jedi Order together. I believe she has a child, from what they've said in the thing, unless that was just rumors. But yeah, it's just basically picking up X amount of years after the last Palpatine movie.
And is the antagonist going to be the First Order?
No idea. We don't even
know.
No,
I think it's a new force, a new evil force, I think. I don't know.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the first Star Wars 4 through 6 was a God movie, the creation of Luke. And he had godlike powers. And, that's a really interesting story, but you can't do that over and over again. So, and then now it's just, good guy, find bad guy, make them clash. That's boring.
Yeah. Nah, I don't think anybody really cares at the end of the day. Accident Seller sends in 20 Norwegian kroner, says, I prefer trigger warnings to censoring.
Oh, yeah.
I understand, but to me, it's a slippery slope that leads to the other. And I said, first of all, they put a warning on it, right? Then they edit the thing and or say that you can no longer have said thing and make it contraband. That's how these things usually go. And I know you're like, well, you're kind of overthinking it, Tom. I said, I don't think I am. Because this has happened in our, this has happened in our recent history not too long ago where things like this happen. So to me, it's a slippery slope we're heading down. Now, I don't have a problem with, context being brought to the table, but that's up to a parent and being talked to as a child. As an adult, I don't need a fucking trigger warning. Right? I don't. Adults shouldn't need trigger warnings.
No.
Why?
Because you just shouldn't. I mean, you know how to look something up 6 where if you don't want to see something in a movie, you don't watch it. Right?
Yeah, but in order to find that information, you'd need a trigger warning.
That's not in front of the movie, though. You go to a specific website or whatever and look it up and it'll let you know. Just like a parent, right? You have the ability to go to, I believe, either the MPA's website or another site that'll actually tell you what is in a movie so you can decide whether or not that PG-13 is the type of PG-13 you want your kid to see or not. Like they will sit there and list everything in there from, alcohol use to violence, how much violence, brief nudity, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes they'll even get, detailed so that you can decide.
So when you say trigger warning, you mean that's something that like you see when you're sitting in the theater?
Or yeah, in the fucking comfort of my own goddamn home. It shouldn't have to be in front of a goddamn movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying, like, as a parent or somebody who's worried about seeing something that may upset them, you and other parents generally take that responsibility upon themselves, which is fine with me. It should not be up to the rest of the world to fucking, censor itself for everybody else. To me, it's just stupid. If you don't think you can handle something, don't watch it. That's cool. Right?
Yeah, but you have to find out what's in it in order to find out if you can.
Yeah, and you know how to do that. And I just said, like, most people are smart enough to know you can just look it up online or look it up somewhere and find out if it's got something in it. Even most movies, right on the ratings themselves, if you look, will say what reason that they're rated that for. Right?
Well, yeah, like TV shows will say, TVMA, and then they'll put like graphic violence or drug use or something like that. Does that bother you?
No.
Okay.
And that's because that's a regulated thing on the FCC, and I got no problem with the same thing on a rating because that's a tool for a parent. But I don't need a trigger warning in front of a movie that I'm watching in my house by myself. That's my point.
You cut out. Can you say that again?
I said I don't need a trigger warning in front of shit.
Already does that, right? Like you don't need
exactly
this monologue that says, okay, this is what's happening here. You got 14 plus, great. So it's going to have some racy dialogue and content in it. Got it.
Basically, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But anyway, moving on, we got a few more here. Many Dragon, who's been a member for 9 months, says, speaking about not being imaginative, I wish if used different animation styles for the imaginary friends, I think it would have been more creative. Okay, he's talking about the movie If. Maybe. I think some of them are live action and some of them are animated. But I see what you're saying here. They could have done like various different animation styles on the different imaginary friends. That could have been kind of neat. Are you guys aware of this movie coming up?
Nope.
Yeah.
It's a Ryan Reynolds other movie coming out this year. It's kind of a Drop Dead Fred ripoff, it looks like, but yeah. Marksman of 117B sends in $1.99, says, watch The New Republic will become the new Empire. Probably at this point. I thought they wiped out what was supposedly left of the New Republic. Because like in the Last Jedi, that chase scene, that's supposed to be like what's left of the New Order chasing what's left of the New Republic or whatever. The Resistance, I mean, sorry. But yeah,
like
so
that,
I don't know. Yeah, it's really fucking convoluted and stupid. What if they would have ran out of gas? Oh yeah, they did. Chris K sends in $5, says, Sword and the Sorcerer, excellent 80s fantasy or so-so movie that is better by how mediocre most modern movies are. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. If that's the one I'm thinking of, I think that one's a pretty good He-Man story too. Remember right? It's the one I think about. Is that the one that? I think so. Pilgrim Media sends in 2 and says, Tom, tell us how you really feel. No. Ace 1589 2001.
Tell us how he feels.
What 6?
That's all Tom ever does is tell us how he feels.
Well, that's my job. Ace 1589 2001 has been here for 7 months, and we thank you for that. And with that, we are caught up. And I think we're going to wrap this up today. It's been a short show, but it's Friday, and we're going to be losing Script Doctor here anyway. And Mikey already had to check out on us. So I think we're just going to wrap it up. It's been kind of a slow news day as it was, and no sense in dragging it out any longer than we have already. So thank you so much, Script Doctor, for being here. Appreciate it. Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on my channel, the first episode of Scripts on Saturdays, where we review a screenplay that has been circulating around Hollywood. It's a biopic based off of John Madden and his entry into creating the video game at EA back in the 80s. So come check us out tomorrow at 7 p.m. on my channel to hear myself and our first co-host discuss the quality of this script.
Yep, most of the first act is about EA feeding him. And
put some mustard on it.
More hot dogs.
You know,
get him to sign the contract. Bring a roast beef over.
Needs a side of ducking.
Yeah. This just in, James Gunn says that Superman Legacy is only going to have practical effects. I don't know how that's fucking possible, but okay.
So no heat vision in the movie, I take it. All right.
Wow.
That or he's really going to have heat vision coming out of his eyeballs.
Things we do for our art.
I guess so.
Nolan does a lot of practical effects, so
I guess. 6, anything going on we should plug?
Nope. Not that I can think of. Watch Culture tonight. His guest, Gary, is a blast. I love Gary. I've known Gary since I first got onto YouTube. He's a good friend.
We're talking about Geary, right?
Geary, yes. Geary from Pop Culture Minefield. Yeah.
The backdoor man.
He's hilarious. He knows a ton. He knows a bunch of people. And Script Doctor, like he said, is the story editor on his comic. So check him out tonight over on Culture's channel.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, anything you got going on?
Well, I released 2 videos today. One on Call Me Chato, the continuing saga of Charmine, which I really didn't want to do, but I got into such interactions with people slicing and dicing the argument to such thin, ridiculous levels that I had to comment. I mean, really, the apologists were apologizing very badly for this situation. and I'm not crucifying the woman. I mean, in it, and I wish her, best of luck. In the end, the proof is going to be in the movie. So, I don't crucify a movie ahead of time. Yes, I believe she's unqualified, but that doesn't mean she won't pull it off. But most likely she won't.
Well, there has been going to let her pull her off. That's the thing, right?
Well, will they let her? Well, there's
that's just
that too. Yeah, I mean, the stuff they gave her to work with in episodes 4 and 5 of Ms. Marvel. Do I blame her for the directing work? Well, the stuff they gave her to work with was just absolute garbage. But on the other hand, there was really no fire or spark in the directing. So, but that's TV directing. Who knows? And then I have on my other channel, Pauling News, I have more update on Dr. Claudine Gay, which is a lot of fun to work with. That's it for me, guys.
Yeah,
I got something else to plug. Midnight's Edge After Dark Sunday night.
Yes.
What time, Tom? 9 Eastern?
8 Central, 9 Eastern. Yep.
Yeah. They're going to be counting down each panelist's top 5 action film villains.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And I've seen some of the lists in the group chat, and it's really, really cool. Really cool villains that they're going to be talking about. Some that I never even considered. So there's going to be a lot of surprises on there. So
and then Sunday, I believe George the Giant Slayer has a special stream going on as well.
Oh, nice.
Mikey wanted me to remind everybody about that. I believe at least myself and Mikey will probably be there. Maybe Andre will be able to pop in. We'll see. But yes, so other than that, if I got time, I should have time before Culture Show. I might even do some Mead Radio. You never know. But do check out Midnight's Edge After Dark. That is its own channel. It is not this channel. It's its own channel where we stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays live. And I drop little nugget videos and other things over there as well. So check it out if you have not already. Trying to get it up over 25K subs at least.
I don't drop nuggets, but I do drop rabbit poos, depending on how concentrated I am.
Nuggets.
I like turtles.
Kitty Bear's asking when you're going to do Mead Radio.
I just said it might do some right after the show, Kitty Bear. And speaking of, he sends in 6 euros.
Just for the question.
And says, the only time trigger warnings are needed is around is around Baldwin and Pew Pews. Alec Baldwin. Yeah. Well, you just get behind him and you're safe. And so far, if you're a man, your chances are pretty good.
Yeah.
You're likely to survive.
Whoa.
Well, he shot both a man and a woman, and guess who survived?
The man.
I'm just saying.
My aim is true.
Statistically, if you're in a room with Alec Baldwin, your odds are pretty good if you're a guy that you might walk out. If you're a woman, odds are not good.
You've only got 2 examples. Both of those do not represent a full survey.
But it's all we got.
It's all we got, yeah.
You need more.
No, we don't want more.
We wanted to shoot more? Jesus.
Yeah. Until he shoots more, we cannot have a proper percentage.
And then he turns around and shoots a midget. How are we going to factor that in?
Well, then that's problematic.
Or a trans.
That's again, problematic. These are all issues. You need to have a controlled death environment to be able to properly measure this.
Yeah, you need a control group.
Yes.
Yeah. They did. I think they either finished filming it or they're in the process of finishing Rust, I guess. So it is supposed to be coming out.
Is anyone actually going to see that now?
I don't know. That's the weird thing that they're actually finishing it. But yeah.
Anyways, we're wrapping this up, right?
We are wrapping this up. Thank you, Kitty Bear. Hopefully you guys will check out Mead Radio. I'll probably be over there in a few minutes. Oh, right at the last minute, Shadow Dancer, the Red Mage, who's been a member for 15 months, says women are not armor plated. This is true. Regardless of what Alec Baldwin may think.
That's true. But they do wear diaphragms.
Yes. Well, some do.
Some do.
Some do. With that, God, that is so 70s, Paul.
I know. I haven't thought about a diaphragm.
I was just going to say, like, get with the now, man. Even Jay is just disappointed in you right now.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, take care of yourselves and each other. And as Andre says, it is time for Koalas in the Ring.
Koalas in the rain. Koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koalas in the rain.